Good evening, and welcome to another bronze gameplay of me yapping. I should not buy Oracle Lens way too early in the game. It's only been 17 seconds. Have you guys ever looked around and noticed just the colors of the things that you have around your room, wherever you go, basically? If there's anything at all, do you ever notice that? Because I went out today, and I noticed. And I missed. That's great. And I noticed that, people don't really think a lot about colors. People don't really look for their surroundings, things around them, all of that stuff. Like, even just playing this game. I love the colors of the grass, the colors of the characters, the colors of even the texts. It's all scrumptious, it's all nice, but people don't really think about it often because, they've taken it for granted. They've been like, oh, it's something that's just came with life. Oh, no, it doesn't. Not everyone gets to see the true colors. Some people are colorblind, red, green colorblind, this and that colorblind. But no one ever appreciates that, Everyone's just taking everything for granted just because they were born with it. Limbs, this and that, and then they start to they start to really just trap you. Oh, are you talking about this about me? Are we talking about me? No, not necessarily. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that don't really just take things into account here. It's kind of annoying. And the worst part about it all is that it's just not really that optimal. Okay. Oh, damn. I think they're duo for a reason. But I like to notice things. I like to see colors as is. Even this, the colors are beautiful. The skins, the attacks, everything is beautiful about this. But people just look at it and they go, oh yeah, colors are nice, I play the game, don't think too much about it. You go out into the world, you see the trees, you see the nice foliage, however you say it. See the sun, the way the light dims around it. Everything is so nice. But people don't appreciate it. And that's what's ticking me off. No, well, it's not really ticking me off, it's just people don't understand what they're given. Oftentimes, they take it for granted. They don't think about things a little too often. And they don't appreciate what's around them. They start to compare themselves with things that doesn't matter. They start to look at things in a way that just doesn't really help them, It's why compare? Like, I'm in bronze, right? And I'm not doing great. I'm actually doing just average here. But I can't play like the champions of League of Legends. I barely put any time into this game. I'm playing it, even though it's competitive, I'm playing it for fun. I'm trying my best to win the game, but ultimately my end goal is to be happy. And it's something that I like to do. It's something that I want to do. I want to have fun while playing competitive, not just make it into a job, not just, oh, you're playing competitive, you gotta try hard. Yeah, you gotta try hard, but you gotta freaking play too. It's a game for a reason. There's no need to treat anything so seriously to the point where it will destroy your entire life. You know what you need to treat seriously? Not games, but jobs that are actually life costs. That will cost lives, like oil rigs and in the seas and all that. Like, yeah, that's life or death. This is games. There's plenty of other ways to earn money. There's plenty of other things that you can do rather than taking games as seriously as oil rigs. Context and situation matters. But I don't think people think about this too often because of their egos, of what it means to lose. There can be many things that, losing is. I lost Wi-Fi connection. Great. But, I feel like there's a lot of things it can mean. If you lose at a game, you can learn from it. You don't have to look at other people and think about their opinions and their judgments and all this about you. It doesn't have to matter if you don't want them to matter. The reason why that people do care about other people's opinions is because they want to mean something to the world. But they often do that because they don't know what to do with themselves. You know, it's they don't appreciate themselves enough. They think that they're worthless, that their trust is nothing, that their self-worth means nothing. But they do. They do mean something. You have been trusting yourself. You just don't want to see that you can trust yourself. You don't want to see that you, yourself, is worthy of your love and your trust. So they outsource to other things that don't matter. And what happens after that? They blame themselves for losing. Oh god, I lost. I don't give a damn if you lose. I want to enjoy the game. Like, sure, people might not be able to play well. Is that my problem? No. Am I having a bad time because everyone else is playing shit? I could if I keep thinking about it that way, but it doesn't really change anything. If you know, my entire teammate carries me, I'm not gonna have fun. You know why? Because I'm not doing anything. I'm just being a leech, and some people are okay with that, just being a leech, because they don't want to put in too much effort. That's fine. But for me, it's my principles, it's my values. You know, so I can't really take it that way. I can't. And I usually just focus on myself. If we're losing in a game, what can make me win? You know, what choice do I have to make myself ahead, even if my teammate loses? That's what I'm thinking, because you can say, oh, it's not that easy to do this. It's not that easy to do that. It seems easy on paper. It's actually decent. I wouldn't say easy. I also wouldn't say it's hard. I would say it's decent. It's when you are tired and you can't force yourself on this. I've tried many times. But it's when you're finally tired of putting up a front, of pretending, and you just don't care anymore. Like, your body still runs its old scripts, but you just can't be bothered to give a damn. So what happens? You start noticing a lot more about yourself, and you start just being okay with having your self-respect. Because I didn't know that I wanted my self-respect. I did not know that my self-respect means so much. I thought it was like, you know, that my self-respect. That's kind of gay, bro. Self-respect. Oh, self-respect. Oh. No, it's not. It's good to have your self-respect. Respecting yourself means that you can be confident in what you know, even if you yourself are not confident. It means that you yourself have some semblance of anything. And you know, I don't mean to try and derogate. Is that even a word? I don't know. I don't mean to try to derogate. I don't know. I don't mean to try to put anyone down, but sometimes things are just you worry too much. You think it's deep to someone when to someone else you think that subject is deep, but oftentimes people don't care. Not because, you know, they want to hurt you. To some people, it's not that deep, just simply because they don't find it that deep. You know, they don't see it that way. And it's okay. Because forcing it won't change anything. Forcing it will make it worse than it is. You know, that's the entire point of it. You can try to force someone to do this, they won't like it. Some people just don't appreciate your insight. Others did not know how much it means to you. You know, because not everyone can be as safe, as well articulated as if it's like a robot, you know, like ChatGPT. People are gonna offend you, whether it's on purpose or on accident, because we can't account for everyone's preferences, everyone's principles and boundaries. There's so many people in the world. We can only account for those that are around us, you know. And sometimes we tend to sometimes we tend to just not know, and that's okay. And that's really okay, It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to matter. But if you continue to allow yourself to care about other people's stances and all this and all that, then, well, you'll just be having a miserable life because you'll be so far into caring about other people's opinions that you don't know you should just live your life. Some things you can't do because you haven't had the all-knowing magic trick yet. There isn't a magic trick. It's just there's a lot of dedication that needs to go into what you know, a lot of understanding, and inclusivity doesn't mean that you cancel people who rejects you or opposes you. Inclusivity means that though they are racist people, though they are people who cannot accept, homosexual people, there are those people who do that, you can still accept them. Because, well, that's what inclusivity means. It means to include every single person. It doesn't mean that you can change your stance. It doesn't mean you have to change your stance just because you have a racist friend. Your friend is racist, but if you have a friend who's racist, he's not racist at you, he's racist at other people. That's why he's your friend. That's how, if you have a racist friend, that's how it works. And that's okay, You can't change them. Because, listen, I'll tell you something that helped me. And it's not something that it's like the all advice. The all. It's not that. But it certainly is something that would help. A lot, okay? It's already so hard to change yourself in under a day. So what do you expect from other people? What do you expect to change out of them? You can't, right? Tell yourself you're gonna be the richest person in a week. In just a week. If you don't make it, whatever. But just tell yourself something. Promise yourself something in under a day. I'll be in challenger rank by the end of today. No, I can't. No, I can't. Right? Doesn't work that way. Because that isn't how things are. You can't change anyone else in under a day. It takes patience. It takes time. It takes understanding. Because people often reject ideas because they are afraid of losing comfortability. It's everything stems from comfortability. Even good comfortability or bad comfortability, and this tower freaking touched me. What the hell? I missed that one. But everything stems on comfortability for us. As humans, we are afraid of pain. We want to protect ourselves whether we like it or not. Right? And if we can separate good pain from bad pain, that's great. But most pain, our brain already just discriminates that it's bad pain immediately. Everything that is just about pain, screw it. I don't care. That's your brain. Your brain is optimized for survival, not for moral, not for rules and regulations. It just cares to survive. So, when you think about it, you can't change your mind in under a day. You need to be patient with changing your mind in under a day. And this is going to tick a lot of people off. You need to remind yourself every time you don't see yourself doing the thing that you want yourself to do. Because your mind isn't going to say, oh, hey, yeah, you want me to do this? You want me to do A? I'll do A. Sure, why not? No, your brain is not going to do that for you. Your brain is going to think the most impactful thing that you can think of right now. And it's not telling yourself to do something. It is the routine. The more you remind yourself, this is the behavior that we want, this is the behavior we encourage, this is the behavior that helps us. Each and every day you forget, not each and every day. When you don't do the thing you want to do, you remind yourself. It tells your brain, okay, I'm not doing this. You keep reminding me on it when I'm not doing this, it probably means something. It probably means something. And slowly you start seeing changes. Slowly you start being more accepting. Slowly you start doing this. Slowly you start doing that. Because our brains, we have muscle memory. We have pattern recognition for a reason. And that is not a reason to overestimate or underestimate ourselves simply because you think that, oh, that is a pretty great skill. It is a pretty great skill. We should make more out of it instead of constantly saying, oh yeah, that's great. Oh yeah. Or trying to like overestimate ourselves and think, oh well, if you can do that, oh I can do that too. Yeah. Doesn't work that way. Does not work that way. So, trying to change someone when you can't even change yourself in under a day, you start to realize that it's not you can't help people. You can. But you start to realize that you need more than insight. You need more than knowledge. You need patience. You need tolerance. And those kinds of things don't happen in under a day. Those things don't happen no matter how good your advice is. If a person does not want to accept, they will have the mentality of an unrelenting horse or a donkey. If the donkey doesn't care, it won't care. If the donkey doesn't want to move, it will not move. It will stay there, right? I'm not degrading anything. I'm just saying it's a horse, donkey, any one of those characters. As long as it's like a horse, a zebra, if they don't want to move, they will not move, no matter what you do. And that's their stance. Their stance is strong. You know, horses, donkeys, zebras, their stances are strong. Zebras are fat boys. Horses are elegant, but also spiritual at the same time. Donkeys, they don't give a damn. And that's for people who don't want to accept your advice. They will turn like those animals. They won't care, no matter how good your advice is. So it's not about you or your message sometimes. Sometimes. I'm not sure. I'm gotta know what the situation is. And how do you know? You just experience. You fail, you make mistakes, and then you learn from it. That's how you experience. But if they don't want to accept your insight, don't force them. There will come a time when they do, and that's when you can help. That's when you can actually understand. That's why it's very important to understand people before you actually claim anything. To say anything, to judge and say that, yeah, this is them. Forever it will be forever it will be them. It's not. It won't forever be them. And when you start to realize that you can only help people who are already seeking help, not people who don't notice or people who notice but don't care, you start to realize that, hey, if this person doesn't care, all I can do for now is just to be there for him. Because your presence, as worthless as you think it is, it still helps. Just understanding them. You don't have to say anything. And it doesn't, obviously, it won't fit for everyone as well. Some people will be like, why are you so quiet? Why are you so this? Why are you so that? They will judge. They will try and justify. They will try and question you. I won't tell you how you're supposed to do with a situation. It depends on the outcome that you want. But I'll tell you that no outcome whatsoever there will not be an outcome where you will win, right? Changing someone's mindset is basically manipulative. You're going against what they want to feel or what they don't want to feel. What they are feeling right now, and you want to change it, even if it's for their good and best intentions, you are technically manipulating them. Puts in a bad rep for the word manipulate, but it's what it is. And sometimes it's just how it is, But don't try and change people who don't want to be changed. Help people who want your help. And for the people who don't, you can just be there for them. That's the least you could do. It's just to be there for them. Doesn't matter if they care or not care. Doesn't matter if they do this or not do this. You know, what matters most is you just understand people. You know, that's the most important thing out of all. So if you can't change yourself in under a day, which you can't, unless you are already yearning for help, you can't change others in under a day too. So don't expect people to change because of your insight, as good as it is. You can certainly inspire them. Oh yeah, this makes sense. Oh yeah, this makes sense now. But they're not going to change. You're going to see them the next day, and you're going to think, wait a minute, they didn't change. They're liars. They're just saying that, but then they're not actually doing it. Of course, because you can certainly inspire them. You cannot change them. They will slowly be inspired as time goes on, and then things will be for the better, and slowly and blah blah blah, you will see them change. But it has to be of their will. It has to be of their choice that they want to change. It's not pretty. It's not glorious. It's not cinematic. You can make it cinematic if you're writing for like a movie and your struggles and everything else, but it's not going to be cinematic. Well, you're changing. It's going to be... Sometimes you're going to feel like you're the parent, and you're constantly reminding your child whenever he makes a mistake. You're telling him, hey, buddy, we don't want to do this, remember. Your child is going to... First of all, your child is going to be like, I know, like, get off my back. But as you remind him, every time he makes a mistake, you say, hey, we don't want to do this. Just remember this. We don't want to do this. You just say that. You don't have to say anything else. You just say... You just remind him on what you want. And then you leave that be, right? You don't try to push it or anything. And that's it. As time goes on, your brain starts to realize, oh wait, this is not what I want. I'm reminding myself on this every time I made a mistake. Not screw up, made a mistake. I'm not gonna say, oh, when you screw up, you remind yourself. That adds a negative connotation to your actions. It degrades, diminishes, and dismisses you. It doesn't make you feel any better. It makes you feel worse. I messed up. Oh, I screwed up. Well, you say you made a mistake. You know, I made an error. I made a mistake. Just recalculate. This is what we want. This is what we're looking for. And that's it. And that's great. And that's all that you should know. That's all that you should tell yourself whenever you think that you're not doing what you want. I used to pretend. I used to posture myself. I used to do a lot of things. And over time, I did not want to do that anymore. I wanted to be real. I wanted to be myself, to be authentic. I've been trying to be authentic for a long time. But just telling myself, you want to be authentic. You want to be authentic. You want to be authentic. Yeah, I know I want to be authentic. That's what I'm trying to do. But that's not how you can remind yourself on it. The simplest and most easiest answer to get your mind to relax is just stop pretending. Because remember, you're not doing a certain thing. You're just reminding yourself what you don't want to do. I don't want to pretend. I'm not going to pretend. Don't say, I'm going to be myself. You don't even know what yourself is right now. How many people can say, I know what myself is? Oh yeah? Can you list out every single thing that you are absolutely 100% sure is yourself as if it's a book, a rule book, one that will not be mistaken, one that is undeniable? You can't, right? So you can't say, I'll just be myself. It doesn't work. You can only do the little things. Stop pretending. Stop faking. That's it. It seems little at first, but you are adding a lesser value to that word. It feels little because you said it, because I said it. It feels little. But notice this. If you let yourself be vulnerable in your own skin, it will feel uncomfortable, but it will allow you to be real. As time goes on, it will allow you to be yourself. That's how it matters. Because I've explained this in another video, but the peak of something is often the opposite. Balance can be struck, but balance is hard. You know, balance isn't an easy thing. So, when you think about it, about everything in life, you start to realize that the peak of happiness is laughing until you're crying. The peak of sadness is hysterically laughing. The peak of anger is silence. The peak of silence itself is neutrality. It's nothing. It could be anything. Silence is more of a vague emotion. You could be silent because you're angry. You could be silent because you're observing. But it's often the opposite. And once you get to realize that the peak of invulnerability is not what you think. It's not just, I'm the strongest, toughest, hardest freaking person ever. No. The peak of invulnerability is you allowing yourself to be so vulnerable to the fact that no one else can use your vulnerability against you. And that is what it means to have a peak in life. It is often the opposite. It is often not what you expect out of a peak. So, I know I said some things, might have aggregated, might have, made it sound a little bit offensive here and there. But I can apologize if I offended you. I'm not gonna change anything because, well, I can't. I don't think I can. I can acknowledge my mistakes. I can change it over time. But being so obsessed about my mistake being made doesn't change the mistake. It is to allow yourself to feel, allow yourself to act, that changes things in your life. It is not about, I made this mistake, I'm the terrible, most terrible person ever. You made a mistake. Everyone makes mistakes. There is not a single person in this life that doesn't make a mistake. Not one. Not a single one. And some mistakes are irredeemable, as society deems. I think it's about balance. It's about whether or not you're truthful to yourself. There's a lot to say about that. I don't know. But from what I know, is that allow yourself to make mistakes. Allow yourself to regulate in your own skin, to be comfortable making mistakes. By making the mistakes I made in this video, I am allowing myself to be vulnerable. I could never do this, right? And I'm sure there's a lot of people who also could never do it. They fear all the things, all the consequences that can happen. But I like to think of it as a trade-off. Because when you think about it, regret is the biggest bill that not even Satan, the devil, anyone with utmost power can pay. They can't. Regret is the biggest bill. It is the biggest unpayable bill. I'm lagging. Unpayable bill. So rather than allowing myself... Oh, and also, regret is a compound interest. It will compound. It will keep compounding. It will grow as time goes on. Trust me, you do not want to pick the bigger, regretful option. The lesser is better, but notice about how many things you regret in life as you grow up. Oh, I regret not picking up this stick when you were a child. I regret not asking this girl out on a date when you were a teenager. I regret not taking this opportunity when you were a young adult. I regret not doing this and that as you grow older. There are so many regrets that people have. Not regretting being close to one another, regretting, fixing the relationship, daughter-father relationship, mother-son relationship, couple relationship. There are so many regrets in life. All because we are afraid to make mistakes. All because we're afraid to make mistakes. You see the pattern here is that we're so afraid of making mistakes, we make more mistakes because we compound that regret bill. We're not making ourselves better. Oh, we think we are, right? Oh, we were not supposed to make the bill. We're not supposed to make the mistake anymore. We're not supposed to do this and that anymore. Yeah, you're not making the mistake anymore, but you're also not learning from it. And you cannot learn. I forgot. I was too engrossed in talking. You cannot correct your mistake if you never learn from it. Fearing a mistake doesn't mean that you corrected it. It doesn't mean you learned from it. All it means is that you fear the mistake. That's it. You're not correcting your mistake. You're not learning from your mistake if you withhold yourself from improving despite making the mistake. That is what it means to allow yourself to make that a mistake. I'm going to die here for the first time. Nice, thank you. How much? Oh, I got 600. Damn. You cannot allow yourself to let that regret bill compound into more things as time goes on, as you grow up. You might think, oh, it's not a big deal. It's okay. I'm not gonna try and convince you. I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm just yapping. Listen, if you look at my channel, I'm just trying to yap about anything as I play games, sucking or winning, I don't care. I just want to yap, okay? I'm not trying to prove my point. And if you don't see my point, that's okay. Because, well, it's not part of my regret bill. I don't care about this. What I do care about is not making my regret bill, things that I care about, things that I would regret about, bigger. And one of the things is this, recording this, yapping, playing as I suck, playing as I probably would tick other people off, playing as I might say some things that is quite sensitive or offensive. Because I would regret so much more that I never got the chance to express myself, to improve the wordplay that I have. You know, I would never be able to do that. And that's what I fear most. That's what I can't accept. And that's what I'm doing right now. Because I've had moments where I'm like, oh shit, but what if I said something offensive? Oh, what if I do this and that? Oh shit, I can't take it back. I can't. Yeah, you can't. You're not supposed to take your mistakes back. You're supposed to acknowledge them, right? If you don't acknowledge, you cannot learn. If you see a book about universal law and you do not acknowledge that book, you will obviously ignore that book. So how can you learn the contents of the universal law book if you do not acknowledge it, right? So the first step to correcting your mistake is to acknowledge your mistake, to know that you can't take it back, to know that you make the mistake. The second thing is to learn from the mistake. Why did it offend people? Why would it offend people? Do not say anything about this. Do not do this. You know, take steps. And the last one, correcting your mistake. This is the hardest, but also quite simple in words. It is just applying what you learned in real life, what you learned in real time. And those are the steps to correcting your mistake. Because the more that you are fearing the mistake, the more that you fear making the mistake, the more that you withhold yourself from even trying to do something, you just make the regret bill larger and larger and larger. And over time, when you grow older, you will have a bill so large, so terrifying, that not even you, God, or anyone else can pay that bill off. And you will regret it for the rest of your life if you continue to try and be like, oh, no, I'm perfect, I'm this, I'm that, I can't allow myself to be this, I can't allow myself to be that. Because things don't work that way. People want perfection. They want so many things, this and that, blah, blah, blah. be the main character, be the this and that, be that. The main character is just whoever is in the focus of being written. That's it. There are so many other things. There are so many main characters. It's if you're writing your own story, you are a main character. A main character isn't a person who wins all the time. I'm so sorry for stealing all the kills. I'm a support. Listen, I'll just refrain from that. Listen, a main character. Oh damn, that's a lot of damage. A main character is just a person that is being written. It's just a protagonist. That's it. It's not. Sung Jin Woo from Solo Leveling, you know, or this and that from this and that. It's none of that. There are so many main characters in the world. Just look at all the animes, the novels, the mangas, the manhwas. There are people who's like, oh, I got betrayed by my this and that, and now I'm this and this. I got this and that, and now I'm that and that. Whatever. There are so many main characters. There are characters who are villains. There are main characters who are this and that. A main character is just whoever is being written about. That's it. Like, you can think of, oh, we go with normal NPCs. You telling they're main characters? If you write about that NPC, they become the main character because you are focusing on them. People don't realize this. They keep thinking, oh, the main character has to be hot, has to be this. No! You can, if I write a book about you and your ordinary life that you assume is ordinary, I can bet that I can make your life interesting. Because I've read a lot of books. I've read a lot of mangas and manhwas. I know how to make your life more interesting than you can think of. And once I write that about you, you become the main character. That's it. That is just how simple it really is. It's not about anything else other than that. There we go. I didn't get the kills there. That's it. So anyone can become the main character. Anyone at all. There are so many books about different things. About this and that. It's about a character who lost their mom and then how they improve. They don't realize it now, but then they improve and then they become the better versions of themselves. And then, you know, all this and all that. There are so many other things that you can do, you know? It's not just one-sided here and there. And people need to realize this more often than saying, I'll never be the main character. Dude, you're living your life. You're the main character. You're the main character of your life. Because you're focusing on your world. Your thoughts. I want to continue this conversation, but the game's over. I'll see you in a bit.